Hey everyone, welcome to Sunday School. Still not sure what week we're on, but we are still doing this and we are committed to learning more about God through these times apart. So today we are going to talk about Earth Day. Earth Day was celebrated on the 22nd, so that was this past Wednesday. And Earth Day is super important because we need to take care of our earth and our environment and the thing that keeps us alive and sustained. We wouldn't be who we are or where we are without the earth on our planet, and we have to take care of that. And the most important thing to realize about Earth Day is, yes, it's a holiday or a special day that's celebrated by many people. But most importantly, it should be celebrated by Christians who believe that the earth is our place of being, and was created by God for us. So I want you all to read through Genesis 1 and 2 this week. And this is the stories of creation. They're both stories that lead us to understanding how the earth was created, how we were created, and how we are to go living in this world knowing that we were created by God. And the universe that God has created, that is something that can't even be imagined. Well, there are so many things that we've talked about lesson after lesson that God is not able to be put in a box. We can figure out who God might be to us, but to our neighbor or someone that we have very little to no contact with, or our best friend, God's going to be someone different. And God is going to be different for every single person because God is God and God cannot be fully imagined or known because there are so many facets of who God is that we will never understand. And creation, ultimately, after God created everything, he said it was good. It was good. And the goodness is reflected in how those things interacted. That everything had a natural order, that everything just kind of had its place, and everything was just supposed to follow that framework that God has put upon them. And so in theological traditions throughout all different religions, we are able to see a relationship between created things, so us, and nature, and animals, and in other people. And we know that how God acted towards Adam and Eve after their ultimate sin, that we know that God's always going to forgive us. That humans were created, given a mind and a brain to be able to make our own decisions. And sometimes that's not going to be the right decision. Whether we like to think it is or not, we're all going to make bad decisions. And so I think that thinking about Earth Day, thinking about who God is, that we are able to truly transform our personal theology, which means how we think about God and who we think God is. And we are able to truly know that God created us, and that God created everything around us. And so if you were to think about that today and this week as you're reading these Genesis 1 and 2, that how do your relationships with God, your friends, and your family, and nature reflect harmony, peace, and love? That's a pretty deep question. And it's just really asking you, how do all of your relationships with everything around you, how are they peaceful? Do they bring peace? Do they show love? Are they harmonious? Do they work well together? And if they don't, how are you going to repair that? How can you repair a relationship with a friend that you might not be friends with anymore? That happens a lot in middle school and high school, that sometimes you just gotta lose people to gain people. And that happens. That is just real life. That's what's going to happen. But if something ended badly, I would ask you to reflect on that and see what you can do to help just at least bring peace. Y'all don't have to be friends again, but bring peace and understanding to the situation at hand. But then also, we realize that we were created in God's image. that we share God's ability to create, to love, to know things, to have knowledge, and to have freedom, to be able to use all of these attributes in our lives. So I would want you all to think about, too, what inspires you? Inspires means something that drives you, something that gives you peace and hope and encouragement to go on. So what inspires you? And thank God for that. And thank God for the place that it has within creation, whether that's a person, whether that's nature. Recognize that. Give God thanks for that. But then also think about how you, as a person of God and a child of God, can help take care of God's creation. Whether that's your fellow person, whether that's animals, whether that's nature in and of itself, the land, the trees. How can you help take care of that? Whether that's recycling, whether that's planting trees, whether that's mowing people's lawns for free or raking leaves in the fall. Just being able to take care of people, but also take care of our land and our earth that we have to give back to in order to have somewhere to live. And I think that God really invites us to be a part of nature, a part of creation, and invites us to be together as one, because we were all, and nature was all, created by God. And so how would you respond if God really put it on your heart to do something for someone else or for something else? Now, don't use this as an excuse to go adopt a dog or a cat, even though you really could, because you're caring for something. As long as you take care of it, that's fine. But if you ask yourself, what is God doing for me? Ask yourself, what is God doing for our earth and our creation? And what is God asking me to do in order to make this world a better place? Now, think about this in relation to reading Genesis 1 and 2. And if you have anything that comes up in your mind that you just don't know how to deal with it, let me know. We'll talk about it. And put all of these concerns, all of these questions, all of these things that I'm asking you to do, to really think about and grapple with how to be a piece of God's creation in this world. Give it to God and pray about it. Talk to God about it, and truly be able to understand where God is leading you to go and who God is leading you to be. And how can you make this world a better place? So I'd like you all to think about that this week. And I will see high schoolers this afternoon at 3. I will see middle schoolers on Wednesday afternoon at 3. And those codes are the same every week, and I will send them out on Remind. And Remind is, I don't know that you all are using it that much, but I'm going to continue to send things a little bit more sporadically on there, just as the inspiration hits, that you all are able to use, whether that's a worship song, a verse that I can share with you, or just a thought that comes into my head. I want you all to be thinking about reading your Bible some. You have a lot of extra time on your hands, and just be able to give some of that time back to God. And I am doing the same and thinking about you all and praying for you each and every day. And I will see you all soon. I know I will. Have a great day.